He was betrayed by a friend, tortured by soldiers, and nailed to a cross, but 3 days later, the impossible happened. Jerusalem was crowded, loud, alive with celebration, but hidden beneath the noise, darkness was moving. In a quiet upper room, Jesus sat with his 12 disciples for one final meal. The atmosphere felt strange. Jesus looked at the men he loved and said softly, "One of you will betray me." Silence. The disciples looked around in disbelief. "Is it me?" "Surely not me." But one man stayed quiet. Judas. Jesus handed him bread, a silent sign. Judas stood and disappeared into the night. Hours later, beneath ancient olive trees in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus knelt alone. The moon lit the ground. His breathing grew heavy. "Father, if possible, let this cup pass from me, but not my will, yours." This wasn't fear alone. It was the crushing weight of what was coming, the pain, the suffering, the sins of the world. His closest friends slept nearby. While he prepared to suffer, they slept. Then, torches, footsteps, armor. Judas returned with soldiers, and with a kiss, he betrayed Jesus. Peter drew his sword. Chaos exploded, but Jesus stopped him. "This is not the way." He surrendered willingly. The disciples ran. Jesus stood alone, dragged through the streets. False witnesses lied. Religious leaders shouted accusations. "Blasphemer! Imposter! Kill him!" By morning, Jesus stood before Pontius Pilate. Pilate studied him. "I find no fault in this man," but the crowd screamed louder. "Crucify him!" Pilate hesitated. The mob grew violent. Fear won. Jesus was handed over. Roman soldiers mocked him. They ripped his clothes, beat him without mercy, placed a crown of thorns onto his head. Blood streamed down his face. They laughed. "Look, a king!" Then they forced a massive wooden cross onto his wounded back. Every step became agony. The streets of Jerusalem watched. Some wept, some mocked. Children stared. Dust rose beneath his feet. His body weakened. He fell. Again and again. Still. He kept moving. At Golgotha, the place called Skull Hill, the nightmare reached its peak. They stretched his arms across rough wood. Then, the hammer. One strike. Another. Nails tore through flesh. Pain unlike words. The cross rose into the air. Jesus hung between heaven and earth. Breathing became torture. People mocked him below. He saved others. Save yourself. Even criminals beside him insulted him. But one changed. One looked at Jesus and whispered, "Remember me." And Jesus answered, "Today you will be with me in paradise." Even while dying, he gave mercy. Hours passed. The sky darkened. An unnatural darkness covered the land. The earth seemed to hold its breath. Jesus looked down at those killing him and said, "Father, forgive them. They do not know what they are doing." Who says that while being murdered? This was no ordinary man. This was love in human form. Then his voice grew weaker. "It is finished." And with his final breath, he died. Suddenly, the earth shook violently. Rocks split apart. The temple curtain tore from top to bottom. Even hardened Roman soldiers froze. One whispered, "Surely, this was the Son of God." Jesus' body was taken down, placed gently in a tomb. A massive stone sealed the entrance. Roman guards stood watch for his followers. Hope died that day. The miracles felt distant. The promises seemed broken. The Savior was gone. Saturday felt endless. Silence, fear, confusion. But early Sunday morning, everything changed. Women approached the tomb at sunrise. The air was cold. Their hearts were heavy, but something was wrong. The stone was moved. The guards gone. Inside, emptiness. The tomb was empty. Panic, confusion, then light. A heavenly messenger appeared.